Hello, everyone. Today I'm sharing with you how outsourcing teams should deal with fast quantity and cheap requests, prioritize requirements. This is a scenario almost every outsourcing team will encounter, and repeatedly will encounter. Because the reality is often, the client says they need it fast, the content is substantial, but the budget is very tight. In short, they want it fast, they want a lot, and they want it cheap. If you try to take it on head-on, the likely outcome is the more you work, the more chaotic it becomes, the more you revise, the more exhausted you get, and ultimately, the relationship is damaged. But truly mature outsourcing teams don't solve problems by brute force. They solve them by breaking down requirements. First, let's establish an important understanding. The problem isn't about having high demands. Many outsourcing teams subconsciously think, the client is too unreasonable. This is simply unrealistic. But from a business perspective, the client's problem is often not trying to pressure you, but rather not knowing how to prioritize. What you need to do is not refute the demands, but help them prioritize. 2. Why does trying to meet all always lead to failure? When you try to simultaneously satisfy, fast, more cheap. The result is usually uncontrollable quality, a surge in revisions, a poor delivery experience. Ultimately, both parties will feel, why is collaboration so exhausting? Because these three goals are inherently conflicting. Third, the most important step for outsourcing teams: break down requirements into priorities. Truly professional outsourcing doesn't ask, what do you want? But rather guides the client to answer, which of these three things is most important? IV. The most practical. 3-tier prioritization method. You can break down all requirements into these 3 levels. First priority, must achieve results. This is the part that cannot be omitted. For example, must be launched, must be usable, must meet platform requirements. This is the bottom line. No compromises can be made. Second priority, bonus items. Ideally present, but unacceptable if absent. For example, more versions, more refined details, more complete extensions. These can be adjusted based on time and budget. Third priority, adding the finishing touches. Doesn't affect the core result, but enhances the experience. For example, more visual variations, additional creative solutions, special presentation styles. This is the first part to be abandoned. V. How to communicate trade-offs to clients. The key is not to say no, but to express it in a different way. Unrecommended statements. We can't do that much in this time. That price is impossible. These are likely to cause resistance. More mature statements. We can prioritize A and B within this time frame and put C in the next stage. Do you think this better aligns with our current goals? Give the choice back to the client, instead of a hard rejection. Fix. Why is prioritizing easier to close a deal? Because you're doing 3 things: helping clients clarify priorities, reducing decision-making difficulty, controlling cooperation risks. In the client's eyes, you're no longer just a job seeker, but a partner who can solve problems together. 7. Reusable practices within an outsourcing team. You can establish a fixed internal process. 1. Upon receiving a request, prioritize it. 2. Clearly define only one core objective for this project. 3. Place other requests in a candidate pool. 4. Release requests gradually based on time, budget. The benefits of doing this are no internal team friction, stable client expectations, easier project closure. A very realistic statement for outsourcing teams. Not all clients will make trade-offs, but professional teams must. When you learn to help clients make choices, you'll find less arguments, less rework, smoother collaboration. In short, when faced with fast, plentiful, and cheap, the real solution for outsourcing teams is neither to stubbornly resist nor to refuse. Instead, Break down the requirements clearly. Set out the priorities. Make the trade-offs visible. When collaboration starts to revolve around the most important things, the project is naturally less likely to fail.